Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your Daily Tarot and Oracle, your daily insight on life and love for April 19th, 2022. Also being timeless, so wherever you're catching in time, this might be relevant to what's going on in your life, but it is a general collective reading. Don't force this to fit your life. You can discard it, you can mock it. Honestly, I'm not even sure, but hang out if you've come across this. This might have some sort of nugget for you. If you do have questions about booking a session, go ahead to the main page and find the email address provided, or you can find me on any social platform at Raising Savak. There's no underscores, there's no spaces, there's no numbers, there's no nothing. And again, my original IG from 4 years ago got hacked. Do not engage with it. So that one is gone. I don't think I'm getting it back. I give up. But anyway, if you have found your glorious way across this, what I'm seeing here is some sort of resolve, some sort of a compromise, some sort of a letting up of what seems to be a lot of disappointments in your waking relationships. I don't think you guys are ready to move forward yet, though. So what I'm seeing in here is this doesn't have to be romantic. It really doesn't. You've been at odds with somebody for quite some time now, and now it's starting to let up. There's a reason why you can't move forward. There's a reason why you're hesitant, and you're going to have those concerns brought up. This is going to be something that you guys talk about. There's a lot of insecurities that need to come up. You don't want to give your all in this because, first off, you know your worth. Like, you have discovered this. This was like making a great discovery on your part. You finally figured yourself out. And I see that this person is still an important part of your life. And I actually see that this is healing. But let's look at why. What's the why as to your hesitance? Let's see, we're doing Archangel Raphael healing. Because everything seems to be unnatural in healing this. It seems to be pushing it along. This is not a quick fix. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on all parties involved. You're positive, you're hopeful for it, but you know that this is going to take time. It's not a switch flipping, oh, there's Wild Wonderland. It's really not like that at all. Oh God, hopefully this doesn't. Boop. All right, it didn't cut out. Man, the spam calls that have been going on are redonkulous. So anyway, laughter is the best medicine. I see that there is a major bonding that is going on. Somebody was just set free. I think that this was somebody that you are dealing with. Whatever has been at odds, whatever had control over them, let them go. So now it's healing. What does healing look like? Well, they have to... All right, this is kind of what I'm at odds with. This says avoid allergens, so avoid this situation that keeps, keeps causing a funk in you and the connection. Again, this doesn't have to be romantic. But let's not treat it like the elephant in the room. Let's not talk about it. This thing needs to be worked through. So what are some things that you guys need to talk through? What is the understanding that you need to come in? There's more in this that needs to be uncovered before you can let it rest. To avoid allergens is to stop putting... Hold on, let me turn this off. Boop. I did it. Okay. So this is saying really stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone. This is going to be a very difficult conversation because I do see that this is something that a person has fed into for a while. And you know, because you have to know, when you have put so much of yourself into something for so long, it does not change overnight. It just can't. It's completely inorganic. So I see like the effort being there of trying to move through this. However, the feelings behind it aren't there yet. These need recovery. They need time. So that it's going to be a process. That's the hang up. That's because the hang up in moving forward is because you know that this is going to take time. Let's not fool ourselves, but let's also see that this connection is a very important connection in your life. This could be a friend. This could be a family member. I am getting a lot of family members that are reconciling. For some of you, this could be some dynamic of, okay, it could be a personal relationship. This could be a friend from long ago, but I'm getting a lot of family connections in this, so understand that. Somebody understands that they have been so toxic. It's because they have never felt safe. They've never felt safe as far as their mission in life or their finances. There's a huge sense of lack around this person. I think that this was a construction of their life, but they perpetuated the circumstances in their mind. So they need to learn a lot about themselves. So I wouldn't say that this is necessarily about them giving speeches about their path. It's definitely something that's going to be a topic of conversation, especially between all parties involved. But what I'm seeing in this is they have to really figure out what their strength is, and they're not going to be able to do that with trying to bypass it, make sure everything is wonderful in Wonderland. This is not going to be how this goes. They went through a lot. They have grown. You need to understand that they have grown. They're doing the work. They've done the work, they're doing the work, they will continue to do the work. They see you just as important as you see them. And you know how anxious I get in pulling this card because we all have seen what the twin flame journey concept has done to people. We're not going to let that rule us. We're just going to see this as one of the important relationships that we do want to keep around us. Again, let me reiterate, if it's abusive, toxic, or illegal in any way, shape, or form, get away from it. But if it's not any of those and the person is doing the work, then this reading is talking about their efforts and the time that it is moving these connections together. So this is why you're hesitant, because you know that this is important, as do they, and you guys don't want to jump the gun on this. So it makes sense. All right, what was the other part of this? And also the shadow work is you finally knowing your self-worth. I mean, awesome. So you're not going to hold any aspect of yourself back for someone else's comfort zone. And it's not even about the healing of this. This is about you and being completely unapologetic and asking for, knowing that your needs need to be met, meeting your own needs, and having people step up in your life who are not going to try and water these down or make you somehow make up for theirs. There we go. Because nobody has to do squat, but you know what? If nobody wants to do squat in this, then they honestly don't need to partake in your adventures now, do they? Okay, alternative medicine. You guys are going to be working through a lot of compromises and taking a lot of ulterior routes in this. Alternative routes in this. You guys have a lot of forgiveness that's going to be going on throughout this. So this, I feel like you guys are on the same page spiritually. I want you guys to actually work on your intentions of what you want this to bring about for you. All right. This is actually something that stems from your more youthful stage. Now, that's pretty common. I do talk about this a lot, but doesn't mean that I mean it any less. This is absolutely the case right here. You guys are being so patient and forgiving with each other. What are you guys going to allow into the connection to feed into it, or even in some cases undermine it? That's even a scary thought now, isn't it? So where are you holding this space in your body? So that's actually, again, ask your body for a message. A lot of people have been complaining about lower back and even internal lower back pain recently. So pay attention to that area. That is dealing with the, let me look. Just a second. Yes, I know, it's super exciting. What is this? I want to say that it's the solar plexus. No, it's the spleen chakra, the sacral chakra. So the spleen, ovaries, the kidneys. Yes, I was getting a very strong kidneys thing about this. So feelings, emotional needs being met, boundaries, trust, warmth, intimacy, attachments, and letting go. Addiction, pleasure, joy, beginnings and ends. I said what I said. All right, you. So ask your body for a message. I am getting the sacral chakra area, which is also dealing with toxicity and sensitivity to toxic environments. You will be changing around your environment a little, whether it's a move or redecorating or just freshening up the joint, maybe cracking a window. By the way, late April. Are you kidding me? Snow? I'm still feeling pulled to this. So asking your body for a message after that. Don't add more into your system to agitate it. So some of you, I don't care what the addictive pattern is. I don't care. It's like, good luck trying to get me to quit coffee. I have it right here and I will be indulging it in a moment. But this is saying, do not put yourself, or do not put additives that are agitating into yourself. Don't overstimulate yourself. It's going to lead to a backlash. And I feel like there's one more in here. What is it? The second opinion, which means keep lines of communication open in this. It's going to be very important because you are so close to the epicenter. It still runs the risk of also getting lost in whatever this connection is. And again, I feel a lot of these are families that are reconciling. For some of you, this might be relationships. For some of you, it might be long-term friends. But I see that this, you also need fresh eyes. It is okay to confide your troubles, your challenges into another person, because wouldn't you want them to do the same for you? Again, the scent of the rose remains on the hand of the giver. That I don't want that to get. That deck. Enunciation is so important with that word, especially with videos. You know. So the message of a loved one who's coming over, healing away the addictions. This is hearing the message from a loved one who has crossed over. They're giving you guidance in how to be able to detach from the scenario and getting the resources that you need for being completely whole in yourself. So this, even though that you're in a connection with a very deep soul contract, this is saying you need to learn to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, and be your own self in here. Listen to your intuitive feelings about somebody. So if something is feeling off, there's something off. Stop gaslighting yourself out of this, and also get support from the resources around you, not just your friend that you are confiding in, or that colleague, or that partner, or that relative, whoever you're confiding in. There's also other things that you can do to ground yourself. All right, we're gonna get a message from a departed loved one. So hold their thoughts in your head. If you can't think of anybody, don't sweat it. This is gonna be from your main spirit guide. But if you don't want to hear me yet, go ahead, pause and read. Now shut up and listen to me. Oh, sweet Jesus. I love this. Do you ever feel like you need to do all the work and fix everything for everyone, or you might have no value? How many of you feel called out already? Yeah. Maybe you think that you need to control everything or nothing will get done. Be healed, be completed, etc. You may think that you need to conform what others expect of you, or choose a course of action to manipulate an outcome. We don't think that would be a good choice. So how about this? Even if it makes you temporarily uncomfortable, do something different. Set that boundary. Oh yeah, set that boundary. Delegate responsibility to another. And you want to know what that is? Absolutely a fun thing to do. You want to, I don't want to do this right now. You can do this because you are a grown up. All right. Ask for your needs to be met. And when faced with an impossible, when faced with an impossible situation or sticky, enmeshed relationship, repeat this mantra. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I didn't cause it. I can't control it. It's not my job to cure it. Then carry on. It feels good, doesn't it? Probably not at first. You're probably feeling anxious like that, like, what's going to happen to me? Well, you're going to get a lot of... The best part is everything does seem to work out in the end. And it will work out beautifully. It'll work out honestly. Spirit is telling you to stand up for yourself. I don't think that you've fully done that. I think that you've given people a little bit too much rope. Knock it off. I said what I said. All right, so I actually want right away. I want right away. Okay. With what Spirit just told you, You're going to realize how many dead seeds you had watered and what you have to do with your free time. So it's going to be a learning experience for the people who are involved in this. When you stop doing things for people that they can do for themselves, the time that you have is ridiculous. This is saying this is going to be a learning ground for both people involved, because somebody's picking up the slack where other people have dropped it, and other people are dropping the slack and going to go find something to fill that void with. Otherwise, they're going to continue the people pleasing or the yesing everything to death. So yeah, seeing what dead seeds you've been watering, and also getting over the guilt of it, because I know you are going to feel guilt with that. Going to feel ungrounded, feeling like you have no value or that your value is being challenged. Do not let people guilt you. Like, what happened? What went wrong? No. The simple point is, you are not going to continue to do everything for everybody. You have value. You do enough. You need to get back to your path, to your responsibilities, to your priorities, not anyone else's. This is absolutely talking about that in your even greatest of relationships. And you want to know what? This does happen. It happens a lot. People, through time and space, regardless of how much time or how much space, start to take each other for granted. So the child has made an appearance twice in this. Somebody might be having a big toddler tantrum. And I feel like that's almost a disservice to say to toddlers, because, well, I love kids and I love babies, but you know how they can get? So to have confidence that what you are doing is in the best interest for all this. Their upset is truly a blessing in disguise, because it is going to be somewhat of a reality check for them and get them into the zone that they need to be in and really step up in their life. It's not even just about you. They need to do this for their own life path, because it didn't only affect your relationship, it affected their successes and failures in their own life. You can't take the blame for other people's successes or failures or why things happen, and you don't get to pay for other people's mistakes. If somebody is dealing with the same type of person in their life, not even the same person, the same type of person, look at what the common denominator is. But it's not always going to be about them. It's going to be about how they feel valid. Why do they feel that they need to plug into that? And then this is telling you to go out and treat yourself. So the blessing in disguise is you take your eyes off of them, whether it's family, friends, or lovers, colleagues, I do not care. Go play, go focus on yourself, go be that goofy little stinker that you know that you are. And know that the responsibilities, the world is not going to come falling down. It's going to get you into the flow state, especially with this connection, to be open to giving and receiving and to be completely appreciative. This is going to be progress, going back to the fact that this is not going to be a switch flip overnight deal. And then, hold on, what's this? This is making an appearance. Perfect timing. And then I want these two. So trustworthy guidance and assertiveness. So this is actually going to be really good to set really clear, healthy, understood boundaries in your connection. Because in order to let somebody in, you have to let them know what you are willing to work with. And if that's overcompensation and you doing more for them, you're telling them that you're willing to put up with a lot of their crap. And it's not going to be helpful for them to grow. So after you've set these amazing and healthy boundaries, you guys got the lovers. Perfect dynamic going on. Now, let me reiterate, nothing is ever perfect, but this is really a step up. This is going to be really good for you guys. And then we have this. That's also the soulmate card too. It's a long journey for you guys. You guys have a long ways to go. You guys are going to have many valleys and hills, but I see that you guys are ready to move on. I don't see you guys walking away from each other. I see you guys learning to let go and move on and take the next adventure. And you're going to have a lot of guidance in doing that too. So then we have this bad boy. Why am I seeing the King of Swords in reverse? Somebody feels like they missed an opportunity. Ooh, the trigger is, ooh. So yeah, judgment is coming in this new chapter. They're going to be triggered by it. And you know what? Even you could be triggered by it because you are not, what's the word I'm looking you are not incapable of fault. So recognize this for when this is happening. You guys will have a clear-cut solution. Understand that it's a trigger and that it's not you guys trying to punish each other. There are two paths and both of them lead to greener pastures for you guys. I see you working through this problem. So, the Hangman in reverse and this, feelings of ungrounded. It's going to take a lot. You guys are really going to challenge each other and it's going to feel like an outright failure at times. There's a lot of things that need to be undone. A lot of emotional baggage that needs to be undone and a lot of dedication to it. I see 3 steps forward, 1 step back, but you guys are in this for the long haul and it looks like there's a lot of disappointments that are going to be underway. I want to look at that. What is it? I think you guys are almost incredulous with how much you guys have held yourself back and how much tradition and how much small-mindedness has held you guys back. You guys are going to lose your crap over it. Yeah. It's not you guys against the world. It's you guys discovering how the world that you had lived in was trying to keep you small and contained, and you are busting out of that. This is going to make a really strong bond for you guys. All right. This is a projection of your future should you stay on this path. If, again, you have questions about booking a session, go ahead and find the provided email address in the description or find me on social platforms. All of my social platforms are now at Raising Savak. Ignore my original IG. It's 4 years old. I don't have any control over it anymore. It's hacked. It's gone. So go ahead and find my at Raising Savak. No underscores, no spaces, no punctuations, no numbers, no nothing. Find me. Ask about what services might be right for you. Ask about pricing, sales, discounts, about time zones, availability. I really look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and know that you're greatly loved and appreciated. Bye for now. Go make this day yours. Something seems to be stopping dead in its tracks in your connection. So what I'm seeing here, this person is a total jerk. They're acting like a total jerk. There's no way around it. They want to work things out with you, but this isn't something that they can kind of just do on their terms. They're really pushing for this. Look, they have masculine then feminine. They try and do it in more like an intimidation factor at first, then that works on like really playing with your emotions. It feels psychotic. It feels kind of psychotic. This person, I see that they really want to make the changes in their life, but you really need to start putting out some real clear lines for them to see. I don't really see that you are open to giving them a second chance. I think that you're thinking about it, but I don't see you actually going through with it because this is going to be the same cycle with them. I don't see them actually really working to change. They want to heal, but it's more the illusion of heal. It's more like and I am healed without doing any of the work. It looks like they're going to slow down. And also, this is somebody who really plays off of their own anxiety. You can't make excuses for that. Like, you've done the work. This person is not doing the work. I need to light incense. God dang it. Okay. So, look, this is leading towards some sort of a celebration involving you. I think that you're going to refocus. I really think that you're pulling away from this energy and focusing on yourself, focusing on your coin, focusing on your healing, and not focusing on matters of the heart. I think that you are pushing whatever that energy is away, whether it's romantic or platonic, it doesn't matter. You're not ready to let them back in. You're getting kind of high off yourself. I love this. A sense of, you don't deserve me because, well, there's really no payoff in it. What happens every time you let this person around you? Honestly, what happens? You get hurt. And you always try and think down the road, down the future, but it always feels like some sort of a rejection for you. Would you please pick yourself for once rather than this person? Actually, no, I can't even say that because you are. You are picking yourself over this person. Finally. It took forever to get here, and I'm not giving you crap. I'm actually really proud of you with this. This is going to lead you to much long-term, much long-term and much healthier long-term relationships. That's how I want to say it. I have a ton of cards here. It's one of those days. But you're going to get out of the feelings of numbness. You're going to start to really thrive again. And I think that you're actually going to be really focused. So good on you. This is a really important time for you in coming out of your cave. What I see here is you have the Star card, which you don't get the Star card unless you've been through the hellfire. I see that you're very defensive and standing up for yourself. I think that you're really protective of yourself. But what I'm looking at here is that's going to be met with its own challenges, because I see old habits dying hard with this. You have something that you are dependent on in your life that you don't know if you should let go of. It's like testing to see if you can deal with a little bit, or if you can ease things in, or maybe you could be stronger. Stop it right now. You're holding yourself back. Sometimes you have to know when to call things quits in your life. Sometimes you need to know when to stop something in your life, even if you don't want to. This might involve you really upsetting yourself. If this is in the case of relationship, it's breaking your own heart to keep a boundary. But if this is your own hurdles or your own self-sabotaging ways, this might be your own frustration with doing the good thing for yourself. You are working on a really strong sense of self-control, self-containment, really just being the leader of your life. You have the Emperor card here. It's all about mastery, and it's all about wisdom. It's all about strength, empowerment, bossiness even. And it's next to this about healing. So you're moving on to calmer waters. This is going to take a lot of the solar plexus chakra, a lot of discipline, less criticism of yourself. You know, the criticism aspect I see of this is really just way to guilt yourself. That's breaking down your spirit. Knock it off right now. You are not a perfect being, and what you're doing is not going to be perfect either. You are working on a way of self-mastery. Even masters still have their faults. So this, it looks like you're going through the birthing pains, but you're not at the reborn aspect of yourself right now. You're holding this back for whatever reason. You don't want to put your all into it and feel like an idiot, feeling like you're starting off at square one. You don't really have faith. You don't get the Star card unless you've been through the hellfire, but when you're met with this challenge, you immediately retreat into the sense of being intimidated and overpowered. You're really ready to move beyond that shell. So what's the advice for you in order to throw all of yourself into this? Look at how many opportunities that this has made you miss in the past, what you've talked yourself out of. This isn't a way to berate you. It's like, look, you got to stand up for yourself now, because nothing else was really pushing you ahead in this. Start investing in yourself. You are worth this. This is all balance in you. It took you such a long time to get here, to even have this sense of self. It's been a long journey. It's been a grueling journey. Nothing that you could have ever prepared yourself for. A lot of feelings of isolation, a lot of questions if you could even make this work. I know that you were scared the entire time you were taking these steps forward, but you did exactly what you need to do and faced your fear in this. Again, you weren't ready for it. You had so much courage in here. Now I know that it looks like you're not going to be open to anything, but the thing is, you are not actually closed off. You're looking at the lessons learned and you're using it as discernment in here. You are at a very elevated sense of self. I really do love this about you. So it's strong, it's a foundation. There's something that you want to reject in your life. So let's look at this. What I see here is you're rejecting. What are you rejecting? Because it's next to the 10 of Swords in reverse. You're not going to be swayed by the silver lining. You know that things are going to get better, but you also have to prepare for anything else that could be thrown your way. It's not you really being defensive. It's you being completely aware, focused, awake. I really feel like you're awake. So there's a celebration. There's a reward for your hard work. And it's been, again, a long time coming. something very material is materializing in your world. Materializing. This is going to be a test of whether or not you can take it or leave it. Flippin' cool. You're very sensitive to what's going on. This has actually really amplified your empathy. I see that you're sensitive, you're intuitive, your intuition off the charts. I think that you could read the room like it's the back of your hand, if you have a hand. Not everybody has a hand. And I think that you are learning to have a healthy relationship with your emotions and not let them make the decisions for you, calling them intuition, some of which are going to be triggers, some of which are going to be inspiration, some of which are going to be this matured, elevated sense of self. So let's see what this does for you. You're not in the landing spot right now and you don't know where it's going. The thing is, you want some sense of absolute certainty and safety. This is not about that. You have to let go of what was so you can embrace what is in your life and stop giving yourself distractions. Everything that's going on is going to be waiting for you on the other side of this. Stop holding on to a past that doesn't exist anymore. Stop holding on to the ideals. It looks like you're trying to hold everything together with just, even with your grasp, it's still crumbling inside of it. This needs to come to an end. And it's this fear of this is always going to happen. It's always just going to be gone. It's always going to be out of reach. It's always going to be the same type of person who hurts you, the same crap that happens at a job, the same story. You don't want it anymore. That's not what's going on. This is the regeneration thing for you. You have no idea what shores you're about to land on. This is talking about something that is way further down the stream. You have to let go of that branch that you're holding on to. You have to stop trying to hold everything together and let it be the big, fabulous mess that it is. There are so many things in your life that are trying to come apart that you have just put way too much in. You put way too much in that does not equate to the fact that they are indispensable. So, let's see. What does this dream look like for you? Let's see. You're going to be completely on guard because you are not used to things being so easy. And you got to learn how to drop the baggage and be in the now with it. So what I'm seeing here is you're at the egg, the start of something new. You are here. Raise your flag, open your heart, let your heart be seen. Change and intimacy is taking place in your heart. There is an open window for you to crawl through. There is an opportunity that's coming up ahead. You're just not there yet. It's on the other side of this waiting game for you. The Treasure Island came out in reverse again. The more you try and put a date on it, the more it's going to outrun you. Let go of the concept of exact timing, because timing has always been a point of procrastination, and it also keeps you from living your life. Spirit's not going to let you move on until you start actively participating in your life. You know that this was going to come about. So it's time for you to really say what the lesson of whatever the connection was and the situation was, what it has taught you. Even though you're hurt, there is good that came out of this. Even if it was something that was a small thing, there is something that you got out of this. Not all was lost in here. And you needed this heartache in order to find your way home, because while I see that you could fit in here, this was one of the biggest lessons of all, that you could fit in, but it's not going to be where I guess you are stuck, and that you are not meant to stay there. There was way too much attachment in here. And we have the no place like home. So there was something that was missing in here, and I think that it was more your heartbreaking that this couldn't be that fulfillment. It couldn't be that person. It couldn't be that place. And it's not that whatever is coming in is going to be, it's not something that you can compare. So this is going to be magical on its own. This is your heart song calling itself home. What I'm seeing here is you're not going to get the closure that you had wanted in here. You're not going to get the goodbye that you had wanted. The lesson in this is, even though that it wasn't all bad, and that it wasn't probably even bad to begin with, there was something that was missing. And you had to go where you were being called to. The Unfinished Symphony is talking about how are you going to finish your symphony, because it can't be completed in another person or in another situation. How are you going to complete your song and be fully present in the moment with this? I feel your heartache. You need to talk about it. I do see that this heartache is, it's really a daydream about what this was, and trying to, I think, downplay what was missing. Even if it doesn't make sense, something was missing. Something in this relationship was holding you back. Everything fell apart, didn't it? Just even out of nowhere, it fell apart, went up in flames, and now it feels like you're being revealed. What's coming is not going to be as challenging, but it'll have its own challenges. You can't avoid conflict. This is going to be something that is really progressive and causes everything to grow in a very supportive fashion. So there's a lot of laws of the universe that are in effect right now, and it's not time for you to let life just kind of take the reins on this. You have to be an active participant in this. The whole chop wood in reverse, it's not about keeping yourself busy, it's about not being lazy. Consistency is going to be key here. And I really think that you have found your calling. But what is the quality of the work that you're putting into it? It's not quantity, it's quality. How much of yourself is in the work that you need to do? And also, what are you even asking for? So it's letting go of old ideals because they are not for you. Where do you always find yourself drifting and wandering back to? What is the message in that for you? So what I'm seeing here is heart chakra activation after what seems to be a pretty stressful, even toxic, and feelings of barren time. It feels toxic, it feels barren, and it feels like you have to let all of that pass you by and be very intentional with what you are calling in. I want you to let your mind drift and wander and see where it goes. And is this something that you feel is bringing you down? Is this something that is invoking a ton of fear? Or is this something that is going to be more along the lines of soothing? So what is some other guidance for this? I'm getting pulled to the postcards from Spirit. So since you're here on Earth, you understand how buildings are built. Yes, a good solid foundation, and yet flexible too. In this case, in case of earthquakes, and truth be told, you can't offer something sustainable unless it's built from a solid base. Whether it's an idea that takes the form of one step at a time, or an actual house that needs a sturdy foundation, dug, poured, and built. We want that sturdy foundation, and we want to remind you of this because you might need a little encouragement to see this true in your life. Celebrate the fact that right now you can repair the cracks in your foundation of life effortlessly, as well as do a general site check to ensure your hard work is being well supported. Do this and know that you are building your life on a perfect and sound foundation that will allow you to welcome many waiting miracles waiting to come to visit. And we're so happy for you and intrigued by what you're building. You have to be very intentional with what it is that you are building and what you are letting go so that you can pursue what you are building. It's a very intense self-check time, but I think that you're up for it, and Spirit knows, so we'll see.